In an unexpected turn of events, President Trump recently announced a delay in the implementation of 25% tariffs on many Canadian imports, which were initially set to take effect on April 2nd. This decision came after intense discussions with Canadian officials and growing concerns across various industries. Canadian Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc confirmed that Canada would also hold off on a planned second wave of retaliatory tariffs worth $125 billion until April 7th. However, the initial tariffs targeting $30 billion worth of U.S. goods remain in place as the trade tension continues to mount. Among the various reactions from Canadian provinces, British Columbia, BC, has set itself apart with a significant legislative move. The province is preparing to introduce a bill that would impose tolls on U.S. commercial vehicles traveling to Alaska.
We're going to ensure that the Americans understand how pissed off we are. A number of tools that enables us to respond to escalations from the American side. It will not be implemented immediately, but we will have it available if it's required.
This proposal serves as a direct response to President Trump's tariffs and is designed to send a clear message not only to the U.S. president, but also to Alaska's Republican congressional representatives and the state's governor. Premier David Eby emphasized that this move was essential in showcasing Canada's frustration and determination to stand firm against the U.S. administration. Premier Eby remarked, "We will not tolerate these ongoing threats and uncertainty. We are standing up for Canadians, and this behavior is unacceptable." He added that while the tolls would not be imposed immediately, the proposal signified the growing strain between the long-standing allies as Canada ramps up pressure on Trump to abandon his tariff plan. According to Eby, the White House has initiated a trade war that Canada never wanted, and the response must be decisive. The proposed legislation in BC aims not only to implement the tolls, but also to enhance Canada's internal trade policies. It would require low-carbon fuel additives for gasoline and diesel to be produced within Canada and provide the province with new tools to reduce internal trade barriers. These efforts are aligned with Canada's broader strategy to reduce dependence on U.S. trade, especially in light of the ongoing tariff threats. Despite Trump scaling back some of the tariffs on North American trade partners, Eby insists that Canada should not back down from its countermeasures. These tariffs are a serious misstep by Trump's administration, harming businesses and families on both sides of the border, he said. In response to these challenges, the BC government has directed the BC Liquor Distribution Branch to halt purchases of American liquor from Republican states, effectively removing those brands from public liquor store shelves. Additionally, government agencies and crown corporations in British Columbia have been instructed to prioritize Canadian products and services as part of a broader national effort to support local businesses and industries. British Columbia is aggressively pursuing new markets and accelerating approvals for major investment projects, with an initial wave of $20 billion in projects expected to create around 8,000 jobs, benefiting rural and remote communities. To ensure a well-coordinated response, Premier Eby has formed a Trade and Economic Security Task Force, bringing together leaders from various sectors, including business, labor, and indigenous communities. A separate task force focused on agriculture and the food economy is working to safeguard BC's food supply, while a BC Softwood Advisory Council is developing strategies to defend the province's interests in the ongoing softwood lumber dispute. With these bold measures, British Columbia is taking strong steps to protect its economy, workers, and businesses, all while strengthening the province's economic resilience in the face of external pressures. These actions also reflect Canada's wider effort to diversify trade and minimize reliance on the U.S. Alaska's connection to the mainland U.S. is unique, as it is geographically separate from the rest of the country. This creates a significant reliance on Canadian territory for the transportation of goods and people between Alaska and the contiguous U.S. One of the most critical links is the Alaska Highway, also known as the Alcan Highway, which stretches from Dawson Creek in British Columbia to Delta Junction in Alaska. Originally constructed during World War II to ensure a secure supply route for military operations, this road remains a primary overland connection between Alaska and the U.S. Beyond road transportation, air travel is heavily dependent on Canadian airspace, as many flights between Alaska and the lower 48 states pass through Canada. The Canadian Air Traffic Control System plays a vital role in managing these routes, ensuring smooth and safe operations for the movement of goods and passengers. In terms of trade, the Port of Vancouver in British Columbia serves as a significant transit hub for shipments to and from Alaska. Many essential supplies, such as food, fuel, and construction materials, pass through Canadian ports and railways before reaching their final destination in Alaska. With such interdependence, Canada plays a pivotal role in supporting Alaska's economy, as well as the broader U.S. economic framework. In addition to land and air transportation, energy infrastructure also underscores Canada's role. Alaska's oil and natural gas resources rely on Canadian pipelines and shipping routes to reach U.S. markets. These critical routes not only support the U.S. economy, but also meet global energy demands. In response to Trump's tariffs, several Canadian provinces have taken immediate and decisive action. Nova Scotia, for example, has condemned the tariffs, calling them short-sighted and reckless. Premier Tim Houston's government has banned U.S. businesses from bidding on provincial government contracts and has doubled tolls for U.S. commercial vehicles on the Cobequid Pass. They have also removed U.S.-made alcoholic products from liquor stores and allocated contingency funds for the next budget cycle to counter the tariffs' effects. Premier Danielle Smith of Alberta also criticized the tariffs, labeling them an unjustifiable economic attack. In support of the federal government's countermeasures, Smith announced that Alberta would introduce retaliatory actions within 24 hours. She stressed the importance of national unity and called for the removal of internal trade barriers within Canada, as well as greater focus on resource projects like pipelines and LNG facilities. In Manitoba, Premier Wab Kinew followed suit by removing all American alcohol from liquor stores, while Premier Andrew Furey of Newfoundland and Labrador denounced the tariffs as illegal and unjust. He immediately took action by removing U.S. products from government stores and expanding market opportunities beyond the U.S., especially in Europe. Faced with persistent tariff threats, Canada is accelerating efforts to diversify its trade relationships. The country is shifting focus from its reliance on the U.S. market and expanding ties with other regions such as Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The government has offered grants and financing to help industries pivot their exports, while provinces like British Columbia are fast-tracking projects and seeking overseas customers. Canada has preferential trade agreements with countries in the EU, Asia-Pacific, and Latin America, and officials are encouraging businesses to use these agreements to replace lost sales from the U.S. market. In addition, discussions with India and other emerging economies could open new opportunities for Canadian exports. The push for diversification also includes strengthening trade ties with Mexico and other CPTPP members, forming a broader, more resilient trade ecosystem that does not rely heavily on the U.S. The long-term aim is to ensure Canada's economic stability, even as it faces the challenges posed by ongoing tariff disputes. Trade frictions between the United States and Canada are not new. Over the years, the two nations have faced numerous disputes, from the softwood lumber conflict that began in 1982 to tariff battles over steel and aluminum in the 2010s. While these disputes have occasionally led to retaliation and compromise, Canada's response to Trump's tariffs is more coordinated and firm than ever before. In previous tariff disputes, Canada has demonstrated its ability to respond robustly, with both federal and provincial leaders working together to push back against U.S. measures. Canada's strategy today is informed by past experiences, such as the successful negotiation of the USMCA in 2018, which reinforced the importance of a united front. In the face of Trump's current tariff threat, Canada's legal options remain open. The country can challenge the tariffs through the USMCA dispute resolution process, and if necessary, it may also pursue complaints through the World Trade Organization, WTO. However, the preferred path is likely to involve negotiation and political pressure rather than legal battles. Canada's response to the tariff threat is a testament to its resilience and determination to protect its economic interests while navigating complex international trade dynamics. The country's ongoing efforts to diversify trade, eliminate internal barriers, and strengthen relationships with global partners ensure that it will remain a key player in the global marketplace, even as it contends with the unpredictable nature of U.S. trade policy. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. We sincerely appreciate you joining us today. If our content resonated with you or sparked inspiration, please consider expressing your support by liking it and subscribing to stay connected with our community. Your support holds value.